Hey, welcome to this session 10 in our tempo build. I'm going to start off with our customary walk whilst I talk you through the session. So the workout is paused for now, and then we've got a big session today. Nothing to worry about for quite some time though, because when we start running, we've got the normal 10-minute build. We then stop course on dynamics. Then you've got 5 minutes of easy running still. So normally we do about 3 minutes. Now this week we're going to do 5 minutes, and then we're going straight into a ramp up before we hit the main set. Now that ramp, the goal of it is to flood your system a little bit with a bit of lactate, build a bit of fatigue before we drop into the main set. That ramp is going to be building from half marathon up to 3k pace, which is not something we've done much of or will do too much of. It's basically like a solid 9 out of 10. It's a one step up above 5k pace. We're only doing it for about 30 seconds, so it's nothing to worry about. It's basically just to take you above threshold, flood your system with a little bit of lactate before we drop into the main set, which is a chunky 20-minute 10k effort. Okay, so the goal of this session is to flood your system with a bit of lactate and get you recovering on the move over the course of quite a long and quite high intensity effort. Really, it's a kind of it's a bit of a race scenario. Okay, so if you imagine that ramp is kind of maybe like the start of the race, where you're trying to be controlled and build it, but you get a bit carried away, and then you've got to drop down into your target pace or your target effort and recover and kind of keep it steady. So it's going to be a challenging one, and I think an important one, a really important session in your progression. So let's start the workout, shall we? So just picking up the effort. Oh, I've gone in a bit aggressive there. So just starting off at like a 2 out of 10 sort of effort. Okay, getting going. Sorry, my heart rate wants to slip down a bit. But yeah, just sort of 2 or 3 out of 10, really nice and chilled. Yeah, so this is an important session in the build, and I really encourage you after this session, go back to the start and just see where you come from. You know, you come from those sort of 3 by 6 minutes at like an easy, much easier half marathon pace. You're now doing, you know, a super threshold ramp into a 20 minutes at 10k pace. You know, you're into some really serious stuff, and so I'd really encourage you to pick up a touch after this session. Just go back to the beginning and just look where you come from in terms of your progression. I think it's important to do that, because as you go through these sessions, you get stronger, you get fitter, you get more used to the hard work. It's quite easy to forget what it used to be like, you know, sort of maybe 10 weeks ago. Okay, so I really want you to have a look at that, look at where you come from, how you progress. You know, you might do like a 5k or something in the next week, and you may not see like amazing improvement on your 5k time. Hopefully you will, don't get me wrong. But if that snapshot doesn't kind of prove to you that you're doing well, just look at where you come from in terms of the workouts. Hopefully fills you with a little bit of confidence. So in our chat today, what I want to talk to you about is how to plan for a race, because you know, we've got this warm up, we've also got the 5-minute section after the dynamics, so if I don't complete my little agenda, we'll carry on in that 5-minute section. I want to talk about how to plan a race, okay? How to plan for an event. Not necessarily about what training to do, but just like, you know, how to kind of get it straight in your head. And it's really important to make sure that you do create a written race plan. Okay, and as part of that, it's important to have a look at the actual course that you're going to be doing. So we're up to maybe like a 3.5 at the moment. Still very much easy running. So have a look at the course. You really need to know what you're dealing with and what you need to prepare for. You can use Strava to map it and then look at particular segments just initially to get a sense of what the course is like, to get a feel for it. Is it hilly? Is it flat? You know, is it in a city? Is it out in lots of sections in a country or in a park? Whatever. You know, just the basic detail to begin with. But then you must train for that course and prepare yourself for the particular challenge. And each course provides different challenges. You know, the surface might be rubbish. You might be in amongst buildings, so there's not much wind flow, not much cooling on a hot day. Alternatively, it can be quite exposed and you're subject to the wind a lot, you know? There's all kinds of important details you can pull out just from an initial look. And yeah, you have to prepare for that course, and that's one of the reasons why sort of off the peg training plans and even AI training plans can be so limited, because you know, I've worked with a few platforms now and none of them have, you know, provided sessions that work on the peculiarities of a particular course. They don't often do much skills work or even hill work. You know, I've not actually worked with a training platform yet that sets specific hill sets because they can't quantify it. You know, they don't know what the hill you're going to use is, so they can't. And when you'll find with AI plans at the moment, like they're severely limited in that way. But one thing is for sure, whatever the race, whatever the course, you'll need to do plenty of strength work. Just lift the effort a touch more. You need to do plenty of strength work to maintain muscular balance. Because usually runners, one thing you may not know, is runners usually have one quad much bigger than the other, one thigh much bigger than the other, because we're asymmetrical beings. So, you know, one side lands heavier than the other, etc. So, yeah, we often have quite big muscular imbalances as runners, and so strength training is a really important way of addressing that. It's also important for improving mobility, and for us in particular, building hip stability. Talked about that previously. You'll need to do some speed work, regardless of what the course is. And threshold training like we're doing today, proportionally how much just depends on the distance and type of race. And finally, it doesn't really matter what the event is, flat or hilly, I always encourage plenty of hill work, because it builds strength, it builds that leg drive. Okay? There's a couple of little things you need to think about when you are kind of putting your race plan together. When you signed up, you're looking at the course, and you think about what you're going to need to do. So that's kind of far in advance. Then when you kind of get towards the race, as we just go up to 4 out of 10 for the final 3 minutes. When you get towards your race, I say couple of months out, you really want to create a race plan. Okay, what you're going to do on the day. You want to note down all your important admin, when you're going to register, etc. Have a kit list to reduce the risk of forgetting stuff. And then look at the course again, break it into sectors and make notes on it. Note what the weather will be like. You can use something like my windsock, get an idea of what the wind will be like, which is important because mentally, if you see your speed drop and it's into a section that you know was going to be probably a headwind, and maybe quite a strong one, it will keep your morale up. As people are sort of going past you, you can be confident that they are destroying himself, going to the red and working too hard. Okay, so you can kind of just keep yourself disciplined and steady. When you put your race plan together, you figure out any hills that's replicate them in training. You can build in pre-race and in-race nutrition, hydration plans. You can note where all the aid stations are. You do this not just for your big goal race, your A race, but for any build-up races as well, because it's practice. You know, you can figure out kind of what extra stuff you need to think about next time, what works for you, and any extra information you need. Now, this might seem a bit nerdy, but doing this race plan and actually writing it down might seem a bit nerdy, but think about all the other work, all the training, all the hard work you're doing. Gee, an hour or two just writing out a race plan, it's nothing, but it could be so useful. So yeah, really recommend having a look at the course well in advance, and then closer to your races, put together a detailed race plan. It will really help without any anxiety. I promise you, you'll feel in control. Anyway, so last 35 seconds or so, then we're going to pause to our dynamics and get going again. So just nice and relaxed, do that, you know the drill now. Last few seconds. Last 10. Okay. Right then. So we'll just pause the workout. And we're going to move over to the mat. See it right now, but I'm crawling on the floor. Get under a camera table. Knocked it. Okay, right. So let's go start with some walking calf raises. Okay, so keeping them straight, legs straight at the moment. Just stepping up, driving through the big toe. That big toe activation. Just things to do about 10 or so. As many as you think you need to. Just kind of sort of switch the muscles on. Little steps, powering up onto the toes. And then once you've done about 10 of those, just bend the knees to what, maybe like 30 degrees, and then keep them bent and do the same. Feels a bit awkward, but do the same with your knees bent. So this, with legs straight, you're getting into your gastrocnemius. This is just getting your soleus, the sort of deeper kind of calf muscle that kind of really feeds into your Achilles. So just 10 of those. I have no idea how many I've done. It doesn't really matter. And once you've done 10 of those, okay, we're just going to go into a split stance. So not quite like a nice wide stance. And you're just going to push forward on your toes so that your kind of chest is over your knee. Head is up, and you're just going to sink down to the heel like that. Just doing a split squat. Okay, we'll do 10 on these on each side. Here we go. 1. Right down. 2. Just going a little bit lower with each one. 3. 4. 5. 6, 7, 9, 10. To the other side. Lift your weight forward, remember, so your weight is over your heel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10. Okay, then we're going to take legs nice and wide and just do some what are called Cossack rocks. Okay, so we're just going to shift to one side. Those 2, 5 on each side, so 1. You see my other foot is lifting up and turning a little bit as I go across. You're just kind of leaving it, lunging over a little bit. Okay, so 1, 2, keep the chest up, facing forwards. 3, 4, 5, and over to the other side. 1, chest up. 3, 4, 5. Okay, keeping the legs nice and wide. Pancake windmills. So you're just going to swivel to one foot, scoot down in front of the toes, keeping your arms close to your head. Come up the other side. Then we go back across this side. 2, 3. Just loosen off the hamstrings a little bit. 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep the arms glued to yours. Is 8, 9. Last one. 10. Okay. Then you know what we're up to next. Leg swings and arm swings. So 10 forwards and back, 10 across the body. When you do these leg swings, just make sure you're kicking back a fair bit as well. You want to loosen off the front of your hip, the hip flexor. 10, then 10 on the other side. And then across the body. I'm going to do it facing the camera, but when you do it, try and use something to in front of you to balance. I'll do it facing away just so you can see what I'm up to. Other side. So when we finish these dynamics, try and take some fluids on board. There's not much rest in this session. In fact, pretty much none. Once we get going, okay, the rest of the session we're on. Let's have a nice drink. Arms going forwards. Draw them in right and close to your ears. Loosen off the upper body. Keep your chest up. Yeah, chin up as you do it. And back. Again, drawing your arms right and close to your ears. Got a bit of a sore neck today, so these are actually really important for me to do. Yes. Yes, don't underestimate how important it is to loosen off the upper body when you're running. Well, because as I think I've probably explained before in these sessions, you're all stiff up here. It can sort of zigzag forces down your body, and actually what you can find is someone's got a really stiff shoulder or something, they land very heavily on the other side to protect it. So make sure you're taking the upper body looseners seriously. Right, that's it. So let's head back onto the treadmill, just getting ready to go, depending on what your situation is. Okay, remember, have a bit of a drink before we get started. Not huge gulps. I just took massive gulps then. Completely ignored my own advice. Now we've got a few 5 minutes of easy running, so let's get going again. Start the workout. Building steadily up to 4 out of 10 again. All right. Building through. You don't need to sprint off the line. Very steadily building a pace, starting to drive the knees. Once you're up to effort, 4 out of 10, very comfortable. Start to go through that relaxation protocol, for want of a less wanky phrase. So drawing the shoulders down, getting the chin out, just shaking out the hands. Okay, chest is forward and up. And we're just kind of, sinking into it a little bit. Just say it in your mind a few times, just tell yourself to relax. 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 Hey, you've got 5 minutes. Nice and chilled. Then we're going to start our build. It's getting up to half marathon pace, 3 minutes. Then up to 10k pace for 2. 1 minute at 5k, and then just 30 seconds at 3k effort. But then we're straight into a 20-minute 10k effort. Okay, so what that means in terms of ramp: 6 out of 10 for 3 minutes, 7 out of 10 for 2, 8 out of 10 for 1, and then 9 out of 10 for 30 seconds before dropping back to a 7 out of 10. Okay, so your heart rate, you'll want it to come, it will go above threshold, above 5k heart rate. We want it coming back down below that over the course, or maybe like the first 5 minutes of that 20-minute 10k effort. Okay, so you take a lot of discipline. Your pace isn't necessarily going to be linear. Okay, it's not a case of, you know, just straight to 10k pace and hold. I'll probably do that because I'm on a treadmill and, you know, I'm always working a little bit lower than my actual pacings. But so you can ignore me in that sense. But for you, come down to your normal 10k pace or 10k effort and just wait. If the heart rate's not coming down enough, you might just have to ease off a little bit. Okay? Just like you would in a race if you have any kind of hope of finishing strong. Because it's this scenario that I see people getting it wrong the most. You know, for whatever reason, there'll be a surge, an acceleration, maybe the start of a race starts really hard, and they don't have the wherewithal to say, right, okay, I'm working too hard here. If I want to finish this race strong, when everyone else is fading, I need to ease off. You know, take 30 seconds now, get on top of my heart rate, and then when I get within fighting distance to the finish line, I'm going to crush it. And you'd be surprised how much time you can make up on people at the end of a race if they're not that experienced in particular. You know, they've gone too hard, just a bit harder than you, and you've got a little bit of reserve, and you've got that fire at the beginning of the race. You know, maybe you can see them and you're just hunting them down. So that's what we're just sort of testing today. Your ability kind of be your own coach for 20 minutes and be honest. And this is where, you know, RPE, your pacing, your heart rate, you've got to be checking those 3 metrics. And just, it's a little bit of a test in a way. Sort of testing what you might be like in a race. And don't worry if you get it wrong. You know? Doing it now rather than in your goal race. It's all just about kind of developing discipline, developing knowledge, developing emotional intelligence. Like that. A lot of 15, then we're going up to 6 out of 10. Okay, so it's not mega hard. We're going to be there for 3. Okay. So up through the 5 out of 10. Building steadily. And getting settled at 6. Once you're at pace, each step on this, you're going to have to go through your relaxation drill each time. Because with each acceleration, the temptation is for your shoulders to go up like this, clench the hands, chin drops. Okay, so each time. Minute down, 2 to go, about half marathon pace. Try and relax into it, drive the knees. Fine guys, you're over halfway through this first step on the ramp. Last minute. We're just gonna turn up the dial a little up to 10k pace. So it's your first opportunity to get a sense of the effort that you'll be doing once you get into the main set. Chin up. Keep catching myself looking down. Just be looking there. Yeah, say the cyclist. Enjoy the view, Frenchie. Okay, 20 seconds. Okay, right, steadily turn the dial up. Just 7 out of 10. We are dominating these cycling losers today. Look. So remember, that speed. I'll probably say it 1,000 times during the session. I do apologise. This is where we're going to be for 20 minutes. Can you hold this effort for at least 20 minutes? Obviously, if you're doing a 10k race, you need to hold it for probably quite a lot longer. Unless you're an absolute machine. Last 40 seconds at 10k, then we out to 5k. So 6 out of 10 right now. Should feel strong. Border of hard. 7 out of 10 effort. Okay, 10, and we go up another notch. Okay, build steadily. Up to 5k pace. 8 out of 10. Heart rate should be climbing up to near threshold. Okay, relax. Last 30 seconds. Then I'm just going to go for a 30-second burst. At 9 out of 10. Okay, 10 seconds. Ready? Okay, little burst. 9 out of 10 effort. It should be very hard. But again, even so, trying to remember to relax. Ten seconds. Then we're going right down to a 7. 2, 1. Okay, slow right down now to a 7 out of 10. And be patient. Heart rate's going to be through the roof. Try and do the important things. Chin up, shoulders down. Drive the knees and relax. Allow your heart rate to come down. It'll take a while. Be patient. But after 4 or 5 minutes, it's still too close to threshold. Ease off a little bit. But for now, just be patient. Relax, relax, relax. Check out hands. 7 out of 10 effort, remember. Over a minute in. Excuse me. Well done, guys. So hopefully you're calming the mind, the heart rate's calming. Start to break this up. 4 or 5 minute sections. Okay, don't look too far ahead. You're nearly 3 minutes through the first 5 minute sector. Okay, so think about the next 2 and a bit minutes. Nothing else. Last 40 seconds for the first 5 minute set. Okay, so we're in a race scenario. So let's pretend, and maybe this might be the case for you, you never know. Your heart rate is just not coming down properly. Okay, so what we're gonna do in 3 seconds, we're just gonna go down like half a notch. Okay? So just take it down a touch. Okay? Just give yourself a little bit extra capacity. Just for a minute or so. Once you're feeling a bit more on top of it, a bit more controlled, you can start to lift it again, but steady. Okay, so I'm just going to steadily lift it now, very steadily, back up, to 7 out of 10. And then hopefully, it's that little ease off will help us get on top of the heart rate, and we can properly settle in now. It's what we want you doing in a race. To take a moment to assess and just say, right, I'm going to ease off. It's not, down to walking pace. It's just kind of stepping back a touch. 30 seconds, a minute, however long you need. And you're like, right, I'm back on it. Let's do this. And then you just steadily build again. And hopefully you can then hold. Coming towards the end of the first 5 minute sector. You're doing a brilliant job. 5 minutes down. Let's just think about the next 5. No further ahead. Chin up, shoulders down, relax the hands. Drive those knees. Okay, first minute down of the second 5-minute sector. Well done, guys. Stay strong. You're not too far off, being halfway already. Just keeping an eye on the next 3.5 minutes. Keeping it steady, trying to stay relaxed. 7 out of 10. Heart rate should be sub-threshold. Ready to go. And then we're halfway. That's 2.5 minutes down. Of the second sector. We're halfway through the second sector and nearly halfway through the whole effort. Nine seconds, then we're halfway. One minute then. Check yourself while you relax. Get the chin up, shoulders down, hands relaxed. Thirty seconds. Okay, so when we get to 10 minutes, we're just gonna go down a notch again. The race scenario this time is we're coming out to a big hill or a little kicker, and we need to take it down. Just need to recover, get the heart rate down. I'm ready for it. Okay, so we go down half a notch, just for 30 seconds. Just get top of the heart rate, getting ready for that hill. Absolutely nothing wrong with doing this. Losing seconds rather than minutes later down the line. Okay, we're coming up to that hill in 5 seconds. Okay, lifting the effort back up. Just a 7 out of 10. Okay? And just do this in a race as much as you need. You're still making great progress. Even when you take it back a notch, like I said, it's gonna be seconds, 10 seconds over the whole race, as opposed to just going too hard and not giving yourself any kind of leeway and then exploding in the last few kilometers. You just gotta do what you gotta do, not what you do in a perfectly idealized world. No one runs a perfectly measured race. There's highs and lows, as there is in this 20-minute sector, you know? Few minutes down for this third sector. It's getting really getting there now, guys. Stay focused, stay positive, stay relaxed. We're well over halfway through, fast approaching the final quarter. Let's overtake some more cyclists, shall we? Stationary. We'll let them off. Right then, 2 minutes. Over into the final sector. Heart rate should be sub-threshold, guys. If it's not, ease off. This is a 20-minute, 10 out of 10 effort, not a 20-minute time trial. Just over a minute, into the final sector. .45, then we're into the end game. Scenario. We're coming up to fast descent, so we can ease off the effort, but in the real world we still be carrying good speed. Okay, so we're just going to do 30 seconds down a notch again, and we're going to finish strong for the final few minutes. Ready? Okay, down a notch, just coasting down the hill, approaching maybe like the final kilometre, getting the heart rate back under control. Then we're going to finish the job. Ready to go. Okay, back up to a 7. We finish the job now. 4.5 minutes of strong / hard work. Then we're done. And that'll be a really big session in the back. Not far now. Chin up, shoulders down, relax the hands, pump those knees, driving them forwards. Chest is front, is up and forwards. So, running proud. Finish this up, guys. See you later, mate. Right, last 3 minutes. Stay strong, keep your chin up. Driving yourself on. That's halfway through this final sector. It's a little over 2 minutes to go now. Really into the final stages. But stay confident, stay strong. Keep it steady. That's 90 seconds. No accelerations. 7 out of 10. All the way to the finish line. Obviously in a race you kick. We're not about that today. Staying steady. So we approach the final minute. Right then. Last 60 seconds, staying disciplined, staying at 10k pace. Don't increase the effort. Keep it sub-threshold. Bye-bye, cyclists. Is that Dutch or French? It's got to be French. Oh no. Last 15, guys. Stay steady. 10. 5. All the way to the end. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Down to walking pace. Okay, well done. Yeah, walk it out for 3 minutes. Hands on your rib cage. Chest open. Keep your chin up. Well done, guys. Tough effort that, with the run beforehand, but real sense of realism. Think about it. How many times have you guys gone too hard at the start of a race? You can see the impact it has just in a 20-minute effort. So you can probably understand how you could really drop off a cliff in a race. So the real takeaway from this is, you know, a race is about give and take, okay? Not about, right, target pace, that's it, the entire race. Because unless you're on a perfectly flat course, or even if you are doing a perfectly flat course, you know, it's still going to be harder at sections. You're still going to get some semblance of a headwind maybe, or tailwind, particularly if it's an out and back. You know, even perfectly flat courses are not typically completely straightforward. You know, it could be gammy road surface or pavement. You know, there's all kinds of things. So sometimes you have to ebb and flow with the race. And what we're really trying to teach you with this session is kind of that's how to approach that. You know, take seconds, a minute at a time, whatever you need. If you're just kind of dropping down, it's still a strong effort, but you know, taking it down a half a notch, you know, getting your heart rate back under control. Really big difference to how you finish the race. And so we just want to give you the confidence to be able to do that. And you can do it in workouts, you know. Yeah, the classic one is, you know, when you're doing sort of 3 by 8 minutes at 5k or 5k pace or something, you know. Those could be from rep to rep, very different story, or even within a rep, you know. Feel great for the first 5 minutes, and then for whatever reason, you got fatigue in your legs, you have to take it down a notch. And your 8 out of 10 isn't your normal 8 out of 10, you know. So all this is all about just kind of giving you confidence to manage things yourself. And I've used the phrase earlier, emotional intelligence. That's really what this is about, is kind of leaving the ego at the door and just dealing with the situation in real time, all with the view of finishing the race strong. Okay, so there you go, guys. Yeah, that's your session. Hopefully you went well there. Remember what I said right at the start though, go back and look at the sessions you were doing at the beginning of this build, okay, and how far you've come. You know, 20 minutes at 10k pace after a super threshold ramp. You know, in anyone's books, that's a meaty sesh. So well done, guys. I'll see you next time. Good job.